it's David Gomm in the stained glass studio, and on this video I'm going to teach you 3 different ways that we use to paint glass here in our studio. And after the 3 different ways that I show you, I'm going to demonstrate these to you so you'll be able to put them into practice in your own glass work. I'm going to also give you a special bonus, so you want to stay to the end of the video for this bonus. And it's going to be a fun one. So come on along with me and we'll learn how to paint with glass. Here is a transom that we did, and if you see here, I'm zooming in on the leaf that we're going to show you how we did. Notice there's 2. So to start this first segment off, I'm going to demonstrate how we actually do this technique. Now this is a heavy mill rubber resist, and it's got a backing on it, and I have to kind of bend it over a little bit to start to peel the backing off. It's kind of like doing your copper foil. I'm really having a hard time with this. There we go. Come on. This is the piece of glass that we're going to do our sample painting on. And what I like to do is remove the backing, then place it down with the sticky side up. That way I can just flop this piece over. That way I don't get a lot of bubbles in it. Now on this is just standard contact paper. You know, it's harder to find contact paper nowadays because not as many people use it, so you can't find it in every single grocery store you walk into. I think I got this from Home Depot. Now the reason we do this is because we can put this on the back to prevent overspray, but I don't want there to be, you know, it doesn't cost as much to use this than it does for the other stuff. You can probably get this rubber resist from your local stained glass supply or from Delphi. We get it from our stained glass supplier, and you have to buy so much, it costs quite a bit. So I'm not going to recommend you do it that way. Okay, so that covers it up, although I kind of missed on that corner, so I'm just going to trim a piece and put it there. Okay, so now that it's covered, now this you saw in the picture that on the window that we did with using this technique, there was a hand-drawn leaf. Okay, now I like to start with a fresh blade. If you've used the blade at all, it can corrode or lose its sharpest edge just after sitting overnight. So starting with a new blade is good. Now what I do then is I outline all 3 lines. And then one right in the center. Now on this leaf, what I want to do, I'm going to concentrate first on this side so that I have a heavy blast over here. And of course, since this won't be removed yet, there won't be any blast, and that'll put a groove down that way. So that's what I'm going to do first, and in order to do that, I pull the piece off, and then I like to burnish it down. I use the back of the knife and then later I'll be ripping it off of there, so I might as well burnish it there. Okay, so now I'm ready to take it over to the sandblast.
Okay.
Well, now I've gone ahead and done the first blast, and I actually got my sandblaster or my compressor charged up twice here. You can see that I've done, what I did was I concentrated right here on this, and you can see that there is a ledge almost for the leaf vein, and then the rest of it has also been roughened up. Now I can pull this little piece off, and on this one I'm going to concentrate on this side. If I concentrate on this side, then I won't erode away this vein, and so it'll still have that 3-dimensional quality when we finish it up. So now I'm going to go ahead and just blast that. And we sandblast every one of these 3 methods so that the paint will stick to the glass. It roughens the glass up and gives it tooth. I can tell my sand is flowing pretty good because I can feel static electricity hitting my arm over here. Okay, and there it is. That's the finished piece. I'll just go ahead and pull this off so you can see it. Now I do have to rinse this off because there's a little bit of sand in here, and I wouldn't want to capture sand underneath my paint. So I'll do that, then we'll do the painting, and we're going to do it right there. Okay, now on the picture of that transom window where I showed the leaf, and it was hard to see, that leaf was painted yellow. This one I'm going to use this gold paint, and it's an enamel-based paint, so it'll stick. Now, what I did on that one, I sandblasted a leaf on one side and then on the other, so that you could see it from both sides, and I apply it like this. I took some spray paint sprayed it on a rag and then just wiped it on the leaf. And I think I need a little darker. So we'll go just. And you see that there's paint on places that isn't the leaf. Now what I do, okay, well it's drying already, so I'm going to just want a little bit more right here. And did you see how the fresh paint kind of wipes away the old? That's because the paint doesn't stick to that part. Okay, so now I'm going to let that dry a minute. Then I'll come back and put a little bit of acetone on a rag and wipe that extra paint off. And then if you find that you need to clean any more of it up, you can just let it dry some more and scrape it off with a razor blade. But there, now that looks pretty good. That's our painted leaf. And it looks different, you know, with different types of light through it. This technique is the most common that we use. We use it more often than any other technique. Now, first of all, we have to have a picture of the face. Then we take that face on paper and glue it and stick it down to contact paper. And then, just like before, cut it out with the X-Acto knife, and you can see it here. Then I sandblast it. Here's a picture of it in the blaster. And as I work it, I just keep checking it to make sure that nothing flies off of it. And then we have to pick it off. Pick all the contact paper off of it. Here's Jeannie after it's completely done. And now she's loading up a can lid with some paint, enamel paint. Now she uses a regular paintbrush to get into all the corners, and this is what makes it messy because you have to really push the paint into all the cracks and crevices. Here it is all loaded up, and we're letting it dry. Then we're going to scrape it with a X-Acto knife, just like I was talking about earlier. Now we're into the face, putting it in place, and there it is, finished. Now this is the third method that we've done, and Jeannie had to take an airbrush class in order to do these, and so that's what I recommend that you do. The entire piece of glass that was going to be airbrushed was sandblasted, so it had tooth, and then in the classes, she cut different frisket windows to be able to spray the paint and have it hit the right place. She's working on 2 different ones in these pictures, and you'll notice she has little tiny round magnets that hold the frisket and the pictures in place to make it easier for her to handle and work with pieces. And then she has to, spray it using her airbrush, and that worked out very well. Here's a picture of the photo that she was working from and a couple of the test pieces she was working on as she did Laura's window. And I think here's another one of farther away view, and you can see that it's got horseshoe nails, and here are the completed ones. So here's the bonus that I promised you. If you want to explore historical, traditional glass painting, go to www.realglasspainting.com. You can sign up for their free newsletter. They don't send it out very often or very regularly, but oh, the stuff that they'll teach you. It's really wonderful. I've bought a couple of their videos so that I could study their techniques. I don't necessarily use any of their techniques, but I find them fascinating and very interesting to know about. Well, okay, this has been Tech Tip Thursday, and I hope it's been good for you. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and hit the bell. Otherwise, make sure and hit the like button, and we'll see you next time.